Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. For today's video, I'm giving you guys my all-NBA team predictions for 2022. I think I have a pretty decent list here. I think I got a pretty solid criteria, which I'm going to go through with you guys. And just, before we get going on this video, remember, guys, it's just my opinion. Like, just because I say it doesn't mean it's the end-all, be-all. We all have the right to our opinions and everything like that. Now, at the same time, you do have the right to go in the comment section below and tell me what I'm saying wrong. So, please feel free to do so because, I'm always learning from you guys and everything too, right? So, yes, let's go ahead, man. So what exactly is my criteria? When it comes down to the all-NBA teams, I look at it like this. If you are a player that's just putting up insane stats, I think you'll make the all-NBA team regardless of record. Like, it's got to be, like, crazy good stats. It's just got to be to the extent where it's like, okay, like, there's no way you can leave this guy off here, right? So I think that's some criteria. I think that the next thing that becomes very important is overall team success, because this is the all-NBA team. And I think when you have player A and player B, maybe player B, the stats don't show quite as good as player A, but player B, his team is like way better, then, you can kind of equate that to being more of a teammate and not taking as many shots and stuff like that and really just being in for the betterment of the team. So typically I would give the player in that case the benefit of the doubt, right, man? So, also, another thing is that only 15 players can make it. So, I mean, there's going to be cases where they're just ain't enough spots. So it's like you got to make a choice. And it's like you're not wrong in your choice, but a choice has to be made. And you can definitely make a lot of cases for more than 15 players, just like when it comes to the NBA All-Star selection and voting process, it's like you can also make a case for more players to make it and actually make the roster, right, man? So, okay, let's go ahead, get going on All-NBA third. My All-NBA first player that I'm selecting is Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks, and this is prime example of my criteria where, the Hawks record on the season 43-39, in the play-in tournament, not nearly as good as last season, everything like that, but Trae Young, averaging 28 points, 10 assists per game, one of the best point guards in the NBA. He'd be higher on this list, if his team was more successful, but, I thought just him being on here paid respects towards him as an individual player, despite not having the overall team success, but it was a weird season for everybody in general, everything. So, Trae Young definitely deserves it. Next up, I'm going with a shooting guard. Now, according to Basketball Reference, this guy has actually played the majority minutes at the power forward position, but the All-Star voting did not reflect that, and that's going to be DeMar DeRozan of the Chicago Bulls. So, you might think that DeMar should be higher on this list. When it comes down to it, DeMar DeRozan has had a huge, bounce back season. Now, he was never really had like a huge fall off. Even on the Spurs, he was a pretty solid player. But, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, has made some big shots this season. The thing that's overall, has beaten down, I would say, DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls in this case, too, is just that they've not been able to win the big games. And you got to be able to do that. If you being up on the JV team, but you can't beat the varsity squad, it's like, I think that's something to be said overall. But still, All-NBA third is a great honor to have, especially for a guy that was looked upon as somebody that has, fallen off, whatever people were saying about him. And I was never one of them. I always knew DeMar was going on the Spurs. So, yes. Okay. So, next up, we are going to go with the small forward position. And I am going to go with Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat. So, the Miami Heat are the best team in the Eastern Conference. League record-wise, 53-29. I mean, it's so close. It's so close. But, yeah, they do hold the number one spot. Which, man, Jimmy Butler, obviously a huge part of that. On the season, averaging 21.6 rebounds, 6 assists. But, outside the stat lines or anything like that, Jimmy Butler does affect the game in so many different ways. His leadership, just his ability to, his style of leadership is very interesting. I think he has that very just like, I'm going to yell at you until you're better type of leadership, which some players do respond to that. Some other players don't and everything like that. But Jimmy Butler, regardless, he is the definition of the Miami Heat culture and everything like that. So I think there's All-NBA third. Okay, so we got All-NBA fourth. Wait, not fourth. What am I saying? All-NBA third, the fourth player selected here. So sadly, getting highly disrespected by whoever made this chart right here. We are going to go with my dude, Pascal Siakam Westbrook, man, because Pascal Siakam's not here for whatever reason. Am I blind? They got Jordan Poole, but I don't see Pascal Siakam. So we are going to use Russell Westbrook as a placeholder, man. If you skipped ahead in the video, you're probably very confused. But yes, Pascal Siakam, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists per game. It just seems that things are coming together now. Once Kawhi left the Toronto Raptors, there was some question about Pascal Siakam, his leadership skills, stuff like that. Does he have what it means to be that number one guy on the team? And I think in certain circumstances, probably not. But in the case of this Raptors team, they are so well constructed. There's so many guys on here that, can do a multitude of different things. And Pascal Siakam is at the head of that. So, yeah, I got Pascal Siakam, All-NBA third. And then for the final player here, we are going to go with Karl Anthony Towns, not the, Clippers play-in tournament edition, but the regular season edition. Yeah, man, the T-Wolves record on the season, they were 46-36, really turned up, after the All-Star break and everything. Karl-Anthony Towns, Dirk Nowitzki, one of my favorite players of all time, but Cat is the best shooting big guy of all time. I'm talking about, three-point shot, mid-range shot, all that stuff, man. Cat's got it. And, yeah, man, fantastic center. Okay, so next up, we got All-NBA second. So next, let's go ahead and go with the point guard position, start things out. I'm going to go with Steph Curry for the All-NBA second team. The reason I have Curry right here, he's not played the entire season. I do think when it comes down to it, you can put up really good numbers, man. You can have a big effect on your team and everything like that. But if you're not playing the entire season, then you really shouldn't be rewarded for stuff that you didn't do. But, All-NBA second, I think, is a great place to have Curry at this season. Recognize his greatness was on the court, but also, put some realistic twist to it too, where it's not just like a Warriors fanboy being like, Curry All-NBA first, because he's only played one game this season or something like that, which, I don't know, man, but yeah. Next up, so this was probably the most difficult decision that I had to make because I really wanted to put this guy All-NBA second, All-NBA first, but I just couldn't, but I still wanted him on the list here, and that is going to be Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns. So this is definitely one of those cases where, being the head of a 64-win team with Chris Paul and everything like that, Devin Booker's been fantastic. Now he's on a really, really good team, and all these guys are on really good teams for the most part, but when it comes down to Devin Booker and everything like that, he's averaged 27 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists per game. Really good numbers. I just, not as good as the guy that you will see All-NBA first team who's still on a really solid team itself, so yeah, man, very difficult. I wanted to put Booker All-NBA first, but I just couldn't, man. I just couldn't, but I really, really, really want to. Phoenix Suns fans, please, I'm not hating on you guys, man. I love D-Book, out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, everything like that. But yeah, All-NBA second. All-NBA third, we are going to go with LeBron James. Yes, man, not All-NBA first. All-NBA third, averaging 30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists per game. Played about 54 games on the season, I believe. So something to be said about that. But, LeBron James, kind of the same example as Trae Young right here, where it's he put up such insanely great numbers that I just couldn't leave him off here, right? No, his team was not good. The Lakers were garbage this season. But yeah, think about it like this. If LeBron James and the Lakers, if he was putting up these numbers and the Lakers were in first or second place, you would be talking about LeBron James as an MVP. So, and that's him putting up the numbers he's putting up right now, right, man? So, to me, that does show that it comes down to the rest of the team just wasn't, constructed correctly. Not really LeBron James' fault. A little bit his fault is, legit and everything like that. But I thought All-NBA second was good. And then All-NBA second for the power forward position, I am going to go with Kevin Durant. Same-ish reason as LeBron James. When Durant is out on the floor, he is the best player on the court, for the most part, I would say. But also has not played the entire season healthy or anything like that. Brooklyn Nets, kind of a very strange situation this season. But Kevin Durant, I thought All-NBA second was great. And then we got the center, man, because y'all know the center I pick right here means the other one's going to get the All-NBA first. And this one, man, All-NBA second. I went back and forth. Comes down, when it comes down to it, you do have to make a choice to some extent. And my All-NBA second setter is going to be Joel Embiid of the Philadelphia 76ers. I got Jokic All-NBA first, man, which I'll explain him in a little bit right here. But yeah, the thing about Joel Embiid that I know Embiid and Sixer fans are really going to fight against having him All-NBA first right here is that he won the scoring title. Joel Embiid, Jokic, you ain't going wrong either choice right there. But there is more to the game of basketball than just scoring, especially when Jokic is averaging, 27, 28 points per game himself. So, had to make a choice, man. So now we got the All-NBA first team, and the first guy I am going to be going with is Ja Morant of the Memphis Grizzlies. Yes, man, I completely get the Memphis Grizzlies can win basketball games with Ja Morant, okay? So I'm sorry that they got a very well-built team. I'm not holding that against Ja Morant. When he's on the court, he's absolutely phenomenal. First guard, I think, was it ever? To lead the NBA in points in the paint in 2022? Do you realize how hell of impressive that is, man? Averaging 27 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists per game. I'm sorry, what Ja Morant is doing this season so quickly in his young NBA career is absolutely magical. Okay, so next up, for All-NBA first, the shooting guard, point guard, other guard spot in this case, man, Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks. So, originally, man, I did have Devin Booker All-NBA first, Luka All-NBA second. Talked to some of my subscribers, and they convinced me otherwise. And yeah, I listened, and I agree, man. Luka Doncic All-NBA second, because this is the case, where Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns record atrociously good. Atrociously good? I guess that makes sense, right? Fantastic record, man. But, you know, Luka, with the numbers, his effect on his team, and still the fact that the Mavericks are still a really solid basketball team, especially since the All-Star break, I thought it was good enough to have him All-NBA first, man. So, yeah, we got that. Next up, I'm going to go with the small forward position, and we're going to go with Jayson Tatum, or forward position, I should say. Jayson Tatum of the Boston Celtics. So, yes, it seems like every single season we are seeing Jayson Tatum get better and better and better and having more of an effect on his team and everything like that. And it really makes you think, what exactly is Tatum's ceiling? Because he just doesn't stop getting, like, is this man going to be averaging like 50 points a game eventually? This season, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, also a much improved defensive player overall with the entire Celtics unit. So, yeah, man. All right, power forward, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's on the list. Oh, there he is. I was going to say, like, he better be on here, right? So we got Giannis. Self-explanatory, man. We all know what Giannis is all about. Do I got to sit here and talk about him? I don't think so. I think we all know about Giannis. And then All-NBA first center, Jokic. Won MVP last season, is putting up better numbers than last season. So do that with what you will. I do think there comes an extent where there is some voters fatigue when it comes to Jokic. And if he didn't win the MVP last season, he would have won it this season. So he's also averaging like 14 rebounds per game. Like, hold up, man. This man is grabbing some boards and everything, playmaking, all that stuff. Even defensively, like, no, it's not like his bread and butter or nothing like that, but he's still fine defensively and everything. So yeah, man, these are my All-NBA teams. I thought they were pretty solid. What you all think? Let me know in the comment section below. If you skipped to the end of the video, man, this is Pascal Siakam. This is not Russell Westbrook, okay? He was not available to take. He was not available to take. So, yeah, that's all we got. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.